Success. Media. Network. 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 Network.
This is your show.
Good day, Successors. I'm Antonio Holman, and welcome to the 4 Principles of Success number 46, where I chat with successful people and entrepreneurs about how they enhance their businesses and lives in the areas of knowledge, health, wealth, and spirituality. And if you want to learn how I've stayed motivated throughout the years, check out my new book, Indulge Your Affirmative Motivation Within, 25 Motivations of Personal Development and Life Success, now on Amazon. Today we're talking to Linda Benz. Linda is located in Portland, Oregon, and is an accomplished energy coach and author of 7 self-help books, including the bestseller, The Secret of Getting What You Really Want, and teaches the skills to step through every challenge with ease and leads you to experience dramatic changes in your confidence, focus, and energy through remarkable principles designed to uncover what you really want and to actually achieve it. Linda has appeared on television, including her multiple encore guest appearances on Portland, Oregon's AM Northwest News show, as well as on the radio, podcasts, and online summits. Step into your greatness with Linda Benz. Linda, are you ready to help our listeners prepare for success?
I am ready, Antonio.
Okay, here we go. So, aside from your business world, tell us a little bit more about your personal life.
My personal life. Well, I'm originally from England. I've been in the US for 24 years now. And I love to play tennis. I was not athletic growing up. I didn't learn till I was in my 30s. But you know what? I discovered that playing tennis every match is like a personal growth seminar for me, because if you have any insecurities at all, they will come out on the tennis court. So I love to do that socially and for exercise, of course, but also it feeds into my business life as well. I love animals. I have just one cat right now. I love hiking. I also do some knitting. So that's about it for me.
Sounds fun. I was never the biggest fan of tennis, but I really love racquetball. Really love it.
Ah, yes.
For those who may not know, tell us about what an energy coach does, how energy coaching can enhance people's lives, and what inspired you to get into this field of expertise. Well,
I'll start with what inspired me to get into the field, because I originally started, I started in the beginning because I was interested in holistic health, believe it or not. And so I started studying that. So that's really all about energy of the body. And it's just also about the stresses you have in your life and how your emotions and, what's the mind-body connection, how what's going on in your mind affects your body. And so I was so passionate about that, I decided I wanted to start a business doing that. And then I started learning about energy in the environment through the art of feng shui. And so when I started my business, I was doing those two things, holistic health and feng shui consulting. So energy of the body, energy in your environment. And it sort of evolved over the years into more sort of coaching, because I would find that people were looking for a quick fix. It was like, tell me where to hang the wind chime to fix my life kind of thing. And of course, it was never that simple. We always had to get into what was going on inside them and how they were creating what they were creating for themselves in their lives, whether it was a health issue or whether it was a life issue. And so it sort of evolved into more coaching. And then I moved. So I was doing that business in one location for about 9 years. And then I moved to another state and basically had to start over. And so I had to do a lot of really sort of deep analysis of myself to find out what I was going to do. Did I want to do the same thing going forward in the same way? I decided that I really wanted to be able to do the work that I do from no matter where I am, so from wherever I happen to be. And so that meant doing a lot more sort of online stuff and over the phone stuff. And so it sort of evolved into more coaching. And what is an energy coach? Well, everything is energy, so when I work with somebody, I am looking at how they are creating what they are creating in their lives. I'm looking at what's going on with them energetically. And by that, I mean, what they're thinking about, what their beliefs are, and then the actions that they're taking in their lives based on those thoughts and beliefs. And so what I found is if you want to change something in your life, it doesn't matter what it is. If you change your energy, then you change what's showing up for you. So basically, that's what I'm doing as an energy coach. I'm looking at the person's energy, what kind of energy they are bringing to their lives and to the things that they do.
I've learned that too myself over the years, and to switch from a very negative lifestyle to just, cold turkey, for lack of a better word, just change my thought processes to only focusing on the positive things even before I receive them. It's very effective, and there's still lots of people, adults in this world who still don't realize that concept, but it's very real and it's very effective.
Yes.
In what three main areas of life do most people tend to have low energy?
Well, money is the big one. The energy people have around money can be very confusing, very chaotic, very upsetting for many people. So money is a big one. Relationships is another one, whether it's personal relationships or even relationships with coworkers or really any kind of relationships or family, for that matter. And then, of course, health. So I think those three main areas, because what you're thinking and what you're feeling really affects your health also.
For people to go from, as you say, stuck to unstoppable, what is the one main realization people need to recognize before enhancing the energy in their lives?
Well, that they have control. I mean, really, we try to change external circumstances, and eventually we have to realize that doesn't work so well. But what you can do is change yourself, and when you change yourself and your energy and your vibration, then you change what shows up for you.
Throughout your coaching, you say there are power skills for highly sensitive people. How does one realize that they are a sensitive person in the first place so they can acquire these skills?
Well, for highly sensitive people, usually to know that that's what you are, you probably have been told many times throughout your life, you're just too sensitive, get over it, kind of thing. You probably grew up feeling very, very different from everybody else and probably trying to fit in and failing, feeling like you really didn't fit in, and probably have a lot of self-doubt because of that, because nobody understands you. You don't feel the same way as other people. You seem to see things differently from other people. You enjoy different things from other people, and certain things can overwhelm you at times. So, for example, you might find that you have difficulty in crowds of people, being around a lot of people, or you might find that you get overwhelmed very easily by certain sounds or by certain smells, or just certain things really trigger you emotionally very easily. And so because of that, you've been called too sensitive in the past. But really what that means is that you have highly sensitive people have a different kind of nervous system that is very different from the majority of people. And it's called sensory processing sensitivity. The highly sensitive label, if you like, can be applied to about 20% of the population. And it's really important to recognize if you are in that category, because there are things that you can do to really help yourself navigate life much more effectively and to be understood more effectively as well.
With the advent of so many modern technologies of nonverbal communication, there seems to be an immense growth of introverts in society. How can introverts begin to come out of their shells so they can step up and be heard?
Introverts, I am an introvert. I'm a highly sensitive introvert. So, I've had to learn this. My natural inclination is to just spend as much time on my own as I can, and not to put myself out there. But what I've learned is that you can actually learn to do that in a very comfortable way, and to make yourself heard, to be taken seriously. But we have to speak up for ourselves, and the way to do that, I think it all comes down, whether it's highly sensitive issues that you have, or whether it's being an introvert, it really all comes down to knowing yourself at the deepest level and becoming comfortable with yourself. And knowing then, well, that helps you to know when you can stay quiet and when you feel the need to speak up. You can do that so much more effectively because you have more confidence in yourself and your abilities. And, people listen. People actually will listen more to an introvert than you might think they will. People are always telling me, they'll say, when I'm in a group or something, they'll say, Linda doesn't say much, but when she does, we really pay attention because it's important. It's something valuable. And so that is the value of an introvert. But what we tend to do is often hold ourselves back because we're afraid to speak up. But you have something really valuable to say. And once you feel confident enough in yourself and your ability to say it, then people will listen.
Mm-hmm. In the workplace, there can be a great many different types of energy, a lot being deemed negative. What are your 5 methods of reasoning with unreasonable people?
Well, first of all, it comes back to knowing yourself, right, and feeling comfortable with yourself, because if you have any insecurities or any doubts about yourself, then it's a lot more difficult to deal with difficult people, because they'll be able to manipulate you, they will be able to trigger you, and you'll find it so much more difficult. So it all comes down to self-awareness. That's really the key with everything. But then, the second thing is to really pay attention to what they're doing and how it's affecting you. So instead of focusing on them, I like to turn the mirror around, if you like, and look at yourself. So if you have this particularly obnoxious person in the office who's, whether they're always upsetting everybody else, or whether they just upset you, it doesn't really matter. But look at what did they just do that triggered you? So they did something or said something, and now you're feeling angry or upset about what happened. So what I would do is, rather than focusing on them, look at yourself and say, okay, what just happened? What did they do? Whether they did something or they said something, and now how do I feel? How has that made me feel? And then look at that, look at the emotion. I would look at it and say, okay, what is it triggered in me? Where am I feeling it most in my body? And what is this really about? Because it's actually not about what they said or what they did. It's not about them at all. If they've triggered something in you, it's something that's yours. It's something that was there already. And so if you can stop and look at that and change yourself based on what you learn about what they just triggered, you'll start to find that you change your energy, and then they will start to change how they interact with you. The beautiful thing about this that I have learned, being a highly sensitive introvert, initially in my career, I attracted a lot of bullies and, people who were just really kind of mean, and it used to upset me very much. But once I started learning how to do this and look at myself and why was I attracting these people and what were they triggering in me, the beautiful thing is that once I got the lesson I needed to learn, those people went away. I didn't need them in my life anymore. And that's what you find. If you turn it around and start looking at yourself and what they're triggering in you, then you don't need those people in your life anymore. And people sometimes have a hard time with that because they want to make it all about the other person. They want to say, but they shouldn't be doing that, and it's not fair, and they shouldn't be like that, and they're just being rude. And all of that is true, but that's not going to help you if you focus on that. What will help you is if you look at the lessons that you can learn from those people. It's very powerful.
Oh, yeah. Extremely powerful. And that's a huge part of being successful is your reaction to things that happen around you, or some people would say the things that happen to you. Your reaction means so much.
Yes. It's everything because it has something to teach you about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every situation you can learn from, negative or positive.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we all know, life is full of ups and downs and nothing always remains positive and good. Throughout your journey, what do you feel was that one most unsuccessful time in your life?
Oh boy. Well, when I moved, I said I had started my business in one state and then I moved to another and I had to start again. And I discovered I was exhausted. I had adrenal burnout and I started looking at what I was going to do. And I started trying to get my business going by doing many of the strategies and methods that I'd done in the past that were successful and I knew were successful, and none of it worked. And I had to take a really good, long, hard look at myself. I had to stop everything and go very deeply within. And I realized what I had created for myself was a nightmare situation, because although I loved what I did, I loved the work that I did and the people that I worked with, I didn't trust myself. I felt that because I didn't know much about business at all, I didn't know business strategies or things like that, I really trusted everybody else and not myself. And so if people said, oh, you need to be doing this, or you should go there, or this is what you really should be doing, I did that. Even if it didn't feel right to me, I did that. And I worked really hard. I was exhausted. And I was miserable, really. And so that was a very hard lesson for me. And once I started looking deeply inside myself and asking myself, what do I really want? And how do I really want to structure my business? And I wanted to structure it so that it gave me plenty of free time. And it gave me, if I wanted to go play tennis, I'd go play tennis. And so what I discovered through that, although it was difficult at the time, I now work a lot less and I accomplish far more than I ever did then. So it was a really difficult time, but I learned so much from it.
What do you feel was the one hardest thing for you to overcome in your business, but you've since conquered it?
Trusting myself. I think that was it, trusting myself. I just didn't. And I think that's, comes from the highly sensitive introvert kind of thing, because I felt different all my life from everybody else and being told to get over it and being told that I was wrong. Why can't you just like this? Why can't you just be like everybody else? I didn't have confidence. And so I trusted everybody else and not myself. And that was, I think, the biggest thing.
Now you deal with coaching clients from time to time. What was your most challenging client-related situation, and how did you resolve it?
Interesting. Okay, yes. I used to, because as I mentioned, I did feng shui consultations. I also started a feng shui school years ago. And so I would teach people how to become feng shui practitioners. And that was another one of those things that I had not planned to do it, but people kept telling me I should do it. And that they wanted to study to become practitioners, but they didn't. At the time, they had to go to California to do that, and they didn't want to go there. They wanted to, why don't you start something here? So I did. I listened to everybody else, and I did that, and I did actually enjoy it. But there was one time where we did a training, and we went to Sedona to do it. It was 2 weeks of training, but the weeks were separate. So it was 1 week, and then a couple months later, we went back and did the second week. And there was one person who came on the training, and she raved about it, how wonderful it was, how great it was. I even have her on video, where she did a video testimonial for me saying how fabulous it was, and she really got a lot out of it. Well, when we got back after the second week, she emailed me and told me that she was really disappointed and she didn't get what she wanted out of it, and she didn't want to do the next phase because she didn't think that it was worth it. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say because this was the complete opposite of what she had said before, and it was very upsetting. But initially, I wanted to focus on, well, how could she do this? How could she say one thing and then say the complete opposite? But then I stopped and I looked at myself and I asked myself, okay, why did you create this situation in your life? What is this really about? And once I turned the mirror to me, I had to come to the conclusion that this wasn't really what I wanted to be doing. It was one of those things I'd done because I let other people lead me into it, because, everybody else thought it was a good idea, even though it wasn't necessarily the right thing for me. And I realized that this person was just doing it because she didn't want to pay for the next part of the course, the final part of the course. So, eventually I got the lessons I needed to get out of it. Then I came to an arrangement with her, and that was the last of those trainings that I did. Mm.
What one thing in your business are you currently struggling to overcome?
Currently struggling to overcome? I was going to say I can't think of anything. The one thing I would have to say is, I have a love-hate relationship with technology, probably like many people. The love part is it's so much easier now to do so many things. I have been doing online courses for a number of years, and it was always very difficult because you had to have so many different softwares and different things and try and piece all these things together. And that's been made a lot easier now. But I would say I enjoy doing it, but I've had to learn a lot more about this kind of thing than I probably really wanted to. So I love it when it works, and I struggle with it when it doesn't. But who doesn't? But I would say that's the biggest thing. And I only say that because I was launching a course, and it's 2 weeks later than I had originally intended because of the technology things.
Yeah, I know the struggles with technology. Oh my goodness, yes. What do you feel is your one biggest business triumph to date?
Wow. I have many, but one of the things I'm most proud of, I think, was when I had done my self-reflection. I had decided that I love speaking to groups and things like that, but I didn't like organizing it. I didn't like doing it in hotels and all the places we usually go to speak. And so I made a decision that I would only do speaking at retreats, at spas, and on cruises. And I didn't know anything about speaking on cruises and doing that kind of thing, but I learned all about how to do that. And I did 3 cruises where I took groups onto a cruise and did my workshops on the cruise, and I absolutely loved that. And it was just so successful, and I'm going to be doing them again. Just having a little break right now, but I was really excited about that because that was a decision. When I told people that, they was like, "You're crazy! How can you do that? How do you do that?" And I didn't know, but I figured it out. I learned it, and I've done it. So
yeah, that's something I'm actually really interested in doing myself. So we may have to partner together on something soon. Oh,
wouldn't that be fun? Yes.
Yeah. How many people joined that cruise?
Well, I did for 2 years. I did cruising as a guest lecturer. So they had all the people, and I just showed up and did my lectures. And then I did 3 where I took my own group, and so about 20 people. And you can have larger groups, smaller groups, but that was just me, and I wanted to be able to give them personal attention, so I kept it to 20.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you feel is your one biggest personal triumph to date?
Learning who I am and being comfortable with that, because I never was growing up. It took me many years to get to this point, but I can, now I own it. I used to be embarrassed to be as sensitive as I am or to be introverted, but now I own it and I know what it means. And I know that it's what makes me so good at what I do. And so I really embrace it.
Hang tight, Successors. We'll return to our conversation with Linda Benz as well as quick success after a word from our sponsors. Podcasters, want more listeners? Check out promosharecast.com and join the community today. That's promosharecast.com. Join today and get the first month free, and you'll also receive 50% off for a lifetime membership. Sign up today. promosharecast.com. Are you a tense, tired, busy person who works day in and day out who tends to lack the proper sleep and energy? Using modular supplements, health-related articles, recipes, life hacks, and more, Bellison can help. With quality as high as Bellison, you're buying from a company that cares about the environment and only uses premium vegan supplements. That's Bellison.com. Want to learn how to cook healthy, exercise, and meditate in just 30 minutes a day? Bellison.com. Want to feel healthy, energetic, and focused like me? Bellison.com. To receive a 10% discount at checkout, visit Bellison.com with the coupon code THE4POS. Visit Bellison.com now. That's BELISAN.com. Compassion and quality without compromise. Bellison.com. And we're back with energy coach and best-selling author Linda Benz. Now we get into the part of the show I like to call Quick Success, where you, Linda, can inspire the successors to enhance their lives in the areas of knowledge, health, wealth, and spirituality. Linda, what are you currently doing to enhance your knowledge?
I'm always doing things to enhance my knowledge. I learn from everybody and everything and every situation. Everything's about learning for me. So I'm always learning.
What are you currently doing to enhance your health?
Well, I play a lot of tennis. I've had some health challenges. I'm working with a naturopath. I'm continuing to do that. I would say that's it.
What are you currently doing to enhance your wealth?
Always working on that as well. I would say marketing has always been a challenge for me in my business. And what I am doing right now is reframing all of that and saying, how can I market my business in a way that is enjoyable and fun and easy for me?
What are you currently doing to enhance your spirituality?
I think it's an everyday, all the time thing. It's just like learning. It's just being in the present moment, connecting with myself, connecting with nature, and gratitude, just being grateful for, looking for things to be grateful for and looking for things to feel good about. And I feel the more I do that, the more connected I am spiritually.
Are there any modern technologies or apps that help you achieve success?
Well, I've just started an online school, as I mentioned, and I'm using teachable.com for that. And I've been learning all about that, and I'm really enjoying that. They have a lot of great features, and I find it's a great platform.
What new thing, book, activity, skill, or technology are you really excited to learn and dive into?
Well, it's been the technology. So I've been learning all about Teachable. I use lead pages. I love the idea that I can very quickly put up a quick web page, which used to, be really difficult before. And then the other thing is the automation through something called Drip, which Lead Pages owns, which is the contact management system. But it allows me to automate everything as much as I can, and that's all the stuff I've been learning, and I'm really excited about it.
And Successors, Linda has a special exclusive offer for you. Linda, what is that?
Well, it's my emotional relief program. And, I mentioned that the way to really change your energy and to change what's showing up for you is to take a good look at yourself and what you're feeling. And whenever you're feeling emotions that kind of overwhelm you, like anger, sadness, whatever it is, it's a way to help you look at that and find out what it is you need to learn about yourself from that so that you can move forward. So it's the emotional relief program. And so it's just a 6-step process that takes minutes, really. And the more you do it, the more easily you'll be able to handle any situation that triggers you. And if you want to download that, you can just go to powerfulbreakthroughs.com/gift.
All right, you hear that, Successors? Emotional Relief Program by Linda Benz. Go to powerfulbreakthroughs.com/gift. Linda, how can our listeners connect with you?
Through my website, lindabins.com, LINDABINNS.com. That's the best way to connect with me.
Finally, Linda, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success, I would have to say, is feeling good about what I'm doing in every moment, doing what I love and feeling good about it.
Successors, I hope you've enjoyed my conversation with Linda Benz. Please check out more successful free content like this at the4pos.com, as well as rate, review, and subscribe wherever you find your podcasts. Thanks for listening and prepare for success. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Antonio.
If you want to do more, earn more, be more, and stay more motivated, visit Amazon.com right now for a copy of Indulge Your Affirmative Motivation Within, 25 Motivations of Personal Development and Life Success. Get it now at Amazon.com.